Welcome to another episode of Operation American Dream. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. This show is really about highlighting those who have served and being so grateful for the country that they served. And we have got some incredible veterans today coming on the show and that are now entrepreneurs, that are truly living the American dream through the entrepreneurial spirit. And we're also going to get a sneak peek into the GI Film Festival. So we're going to get started right now. Welcome back to Operation American Dream. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. We have the GI Film Festival coming to San Diego in October, and I have two awesome people here to tell us all about it and get the exciting details. Thank you, Jodi, Cilley, and George Jack. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
Jodi, you are the founder of the Film Consortium. The Film Consortium. So tell me what that is and what your role is with the film festival coming up.
We're an organization here in town that brings together a lot of our local filmmakers, and we showcase and award local films and local filmmakers. So we're involved with the film festival because we work with KPBS to produce the GI Film Festival San Diego Local Film Showcase. So sort of what we already do, we apply to this in that we find films and filmmakers here in town that make films about and by the military.
See, that's so great. So this is their hurrah, right?
Yeah,
that you guys really get to highlight some great things.
And we're here in San Diego, which has a huge military population. So, being able to sort of highlight some of these stories and bring these people together to produce new stories is really fulfilling.
So it's a whole film festival. It's a weekend. Yep. Correct?
Yep.
In multiple locations. I saw it at Balboa Theater.
We're at the Museum of Photographic Arts. We're on the Midway. We're going to watch film on the Midway. We're at the AMC in Mission Valley, or I think Fashion Valley.
Carlsbad Regal 12. I saw that was on
Carlsbad.
there.
So we're going to be all over the city showcasing films about our military.
How many films on this one?
33.
Okay.
Give or take one or two.
And how many years in a row have they been doing this?
This is the third annual, actually. So it's grown quite a bit. We've got a lot more narrative films this year, like with George Jack here.
Yeah, I see. You brought George.
Yep.
George, you're a filmmaker.
Yes, I'm a filmmaker and an actor.
So, okay, you get to see both perspectives on that.
Right.
So you got to be involved in how many films for this year's film festival?
For this year's, it was one. The title was Fletcher and Jenks.
So tell me about it.
It's about two detectives. One is basically an inept, experienced detective. He gets partnered up with a rookie, and they have to find clues to a serial murder. And it turns out that the serial murderer is closer to them than they thought.
So you took on this storyline, and you're part of the production and putting the whole thing together, plus acting in it. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the team you put together. Are there veterans involved in the film?
Yes, there are. Actually, the lead producer, Ryan Bentz, he's a veteran of the Navy, and he actually produced this whole thing, a crew of about 25 people, maybe about 10 actors.
And one of the actors was, there's essentially three lead actors, we'll say, and one of them was a veteran as well.
That's awesome.
He was also the director of photography, too.
And he was, I forgot about that part.
Multiple
He was
hats.
also the director of photography.
So how are you guys promoting this, and are you seeing that there's a big part of the military community that wants to come out and be involved to see these films? What's your target audience with the film festival? I
mean, we're looking for people who are interested in seeing the stories that are produced here in San Diego, and not even just in San Diego. A lot of these films are from around the world. And supporting the filmmakers and the military that we have right here in our own city. So, I mean, we're looking for people who make films. We're looking for people who are interested in military stories. We have films that are coming from diverse backgrounds, LGBT. We've got films from a Hispanic point of view. We have one about a deported veteran who lives in Tijuana. We have films about women, and we have films from World War II to now. So we span a lot of different types of stories from people who might not necessarily get represented in mainstream media. And then we're telling stories across a vast amount of time from World War II to now. So you can kind of see, different, pieces. If you're interested in more like Vietnam, you're interested in more like, let's say the Black experience in the military, you can kind of find stories that'll showcase all of that. And then we also have films that are just serial killer, murder mysteries, and films that are lighter, but they're made by veterans, and they're made by this crew of people that has hired and is actively working with veterans to produce them.
And it's giving them an incredible opportunity to be seen. Is
Yeah.
there a whole list that people can see what films are playing when at which theaters, and how does everybody get information on how they can go or attend the film festival?
Yeah, you can go to gifilmfestivalsandiego.org.
Okay.
So that's where the list of films, as well as all the award-nominated films are. So you can give you a little idea of some of the better films or some of the films that have been nominated for awards in the festival, and that are from the local perspective. And yeah, you can check it out there. And
It's October, it starts the 18th, right?
18th to 22nd.
Okay, so, and there's stuff going on every day, different
Yep.
films every day, so you can make it work and check out the different theaters.
There's an award ceremony where we present awards to people. There's,
Oh, that's great.
There'll be panels. So there'll be different things that aren't just film related, but where we can mingle and meet other people and meet some of these veterans and meet some of these people that these stories are about.
What made you get involved real quick?
In the GI Film
Yeah.
Festival? Well, I'm a teacher. I teach film.
Okay,
And I've had entire classes that are veterans.
so you were able to jump in and get excited about this and really making a difference in the veterans with the films.
Well, there was a specific point where I said, man, these guys have a skill set that is perfect for filmmaking. They'll show up at 4 a.m. with a smile on their face. They can work with a large group of diverse personalities and have a good attitude about
Right,
it.
right.
Plus, it's a team sport. You get all these different people working towards an end goal. It's a very similar experience from a team perspective. So there was a point where I said, we need to get these veterans involved in filmmaking, and that's when I got involved with this.
Well, I'm excited. I think this is really great. I hope everybody checks it out and comes out and supports the film festival. Thank you both for being on the show today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
Really
for
look
having
forward
us.
to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll want to make sure and check out the GI Film Festival in San Diego. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't ready. I know, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't, you hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
We're back with Operation American Dream. I'm your host today, Amy Scruggs. I have a wonderful guest right now. Really excited to make an introduction to Johnny Roberts. He is the founder of Manzanilla Ranch in Anza, California, and does an incredible job with a special healing project and a very passionate business that you're running. Johnny, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So great to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm already just blown away and talking to you here for a minute, but I'm really excited for our viewers to see who you are and about you, and then about the ranch and what you've got coming up. But you have a big, beautiful ranch in Anza. Tell me about the ranch
We're in the high
first.
desert. We have a nice ranch in the high desert, yes.
And how many horses?
We have 8.
Okay, wonderful. You started the ranch in 2011 and then became a nonprofit in 2013, a couple years back.
That's when we got our IRS letter. It took us 2 years to get that, but yes, we got our final approval in March of 2013.
So, a ranch that's a nonprofit, tell me why. What is it you're doing that's making a difference in the lives of veterans and also...
Kind of a long story.
Well, we're going to get the shorter version.
Okay. I had been through a couple of sicknesses myself. I had been riding horses when I was younger. I was a hand at a ranch in Ohio back in the early 70s. And after being sick, I kind of got back into horses. And I was going to the VA, and when they told me that I had to go through hepatitis treatment because of cancer treatment prior to that, I told my wife it's time to move back to the country. I'm not going to do all this here in the city. So we found a ranch in Anza. We moved out there, and I was trying to figure out how to use it for good and to keep me busy. I'm not one that likes to sit idle.
Right.
I was at a Rotary meeting one evening, and one of my friends was talking about his son. His son was a medic in Afghanistan and was treating a soldier in a burnout room. And he had to shoot an Afghanistan kid that came in to try to shoot them. He hadn't slept since then. He was at a counseling session at Balboa Hospital, and a new veteran came in. My friend is telling me this story about his son, Ben. And he said that when they were doing self-introductions to a new veteran, and when it got to Ben said, you know, I had a really good day about 3 weeks ago, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I can't do a lot, but I can give them a good day. I've got horses, I've got the Pacific Crest Trail, I've got an access point to the Pacific Crest Trail from our ranch. We can go on a 5, 7, 12-mile ride. We could go for longer than that if they want. And we do have a longer one coming up pretty soon. But that's really where it started. That was in about 2011, and we've been doing it ever since.
I love it. I even saw that when I'm on your website. It's that one good day.
And that's what we call it, the One Good Day Project. We just try to give them a good day.
And so you're bringing in people who need to be healed, especially veterans, like you're saying, who've had trauma, and they get to have that amazing day out on the ranch. You have a big event coming up that you've brought in sponsors that are actually sponsoring veterans, correct?
Right. Well, I did a thing called the Deanza Ride, which is a 7-day ride. And I had veterans talking to me about they wanted to do a camp out. They wanted to do a camp out on horse. And I remembered on the Deanza Ride, there's this little cabin way out in the middle of nowhere in the Anza Borrego Desert. It's a 16-mile ride from my ranch. There are enthusiasts that have fixed it up and made it nice, and we can go there and camp. So we're going to take 5 veterans, and we're going to ride around the Kuya Indian Reservation for a day. Then we're going to head down into Coyote Canyon, all the way into Anza Borrego Desert to Bailey's Cabin, it's called, and we're going to camp there. It's going to be a lot of logistics. It's going to take 23 people to actually go down and set up the camp. We'll have wranglers for the horses. We're having a special portable manger made for the horses so that we'll have a way of feeding and accommodating the horses in the middle of the wilderness. And it's coming up in October. We're going to take 5 veterans on this ride. Our plan is that now that we've invested in all the equipment, we're going to make this at least an annual event. We'd like to work it into being a quarterly event. We'd like to do this 4 times a year.
That is so exciting. What incredible healing therapy.
It really is.
I think every kid dreams of having a trip like that and a camp out like that. And here you've got our heroes who have served, they fought for the country, and now they get this incredible opportunity. And I hope that you get to do it every quarter. I hope that this becomes contagious and that there's a lot of light shining on what you're doing there at the ranch to make a difference. Ride of a lifetime. I love it. What is the website that we can reach you at?
ManzanitaRanch.org.
Johnny, that is so awesome. You yourself are also a Navy veteran.
I am.
Cancer survivor.
Yes.
And you are an incredible representation of giving back.
Thank you.
There's no reason not to find a way to give back and help people.
If I can plug one more thing, I've been a Rotarian for 28 years, and that's what we do. That's what Rotarians do.
Well, it absolutely shines through you. I can see that. I hope that everybody checks out the ranch, and anybody who wants to support and donate, what a great organization to do that with. Pleasure to meet you today, Johnny.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
As a real estate professional, there are only so many hours of the day, which means efficiency is more than a buzzword. It's a daily necessity. 2 tools from First American Title can help you keep on top of your transactions, either at your desktop or on the go. My First Am puts comprehensive property data at your fingertips, where you can review recorded documents, past transactions, or locate comparable sales quickly and easily. Cost First can also ensure you have 24/7 access to closing costs data, allowing you to generate net sheets, calculate fees, update documents, or email, print, or save your reports, along with TRID calculation and consummation date timeframes. Each sale includes a number of stages to manage, each with the possibility to delay a closing or derail it altogether. Let Cost First and My First Am keep your transactions on track. Contact your local First American representative to get started today.
Welcome back to Operation American Dream. We get to have some fun guests in here and some fun topics, but it's also still honoring our heroes. And I have Bill Steinkirchner, the owner and founder of Stone Church Brewing in Corona, California, also a 23-year
Veteran of the Army.
Veteran. What was your title?
I actually retired as a colonel.
Wow, thank you so much for your
Yes,
service.
thank you.
That's awesome. So 23 years colonel in the Army, and now, I love this, Stone Church Brewing.
Yes.
You are a true entrepreneur. And I know there's a lot we're going to touch on how you give back. But first, tell me about your years of service just a little bit, and when you retired. And
Well, in a nutshell, basically, retired as a colonel, and I was very fortunate that I had individuals, NCOs, that were really the backbone of my success. I surrounded myself with individuals that were smarter than me and looked out for me. I was very open with them and trusted them until they couldn't be trusted, but I never really had that issue. And I think it was through their efforts and the openness I had with everybody is what allowed me to succeed and to go up through the ranks. And did a deployment in Iraq in 2004, 2005, and then had a chance to work on the Joint Staff in the Pentagon.
wow,
So I've been pretty lucky so far.
that's fantastic. How long ago when did you retire?
2014,
Okay.
August.
So you
3 years.
sat and thought, it's time now, I'm going to take all of this skill and I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And Stone
Pretty
Church Brewing came
I
about,
have
right?
loved beer since I was 21, 22. I started going to microbreweries way back when there were brew pubs.
Okay.
So I think it was that love of brewing, and then I figured out I'm going to retire. What am I going to do with my life? And I started brewing, and you find out how many friends you really have when you're brewing at home, and everybody loves free beer. And
Your house was packed, right?
pretty much every time I was done with
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, who are you?
No, get that back.
Yeah.
So you started brewing at home, you started putting it together, and then obviously you had a business model in mind, and
18
you took
months.
the plunge.
18 months I worked on the business model, joined a Brewers Guild, the Inland Empires Brewers Guild.
Okay.
And up until that point, I was actually, for the first 10, 15 years, I was like anybody else. I'd go to the brewery, I'd love the beer, start drinking the beer, and then I started asking questions about it, and I go, I'd like to get into this one day, and started talking to the owners and getting tips from them, what they did right, what they did wrong, what they would have done different, joined a guild. And for 18 months, I worked on it until one of the guild members says, either, pardon my language, crap, or, get off the pot or execute. So I'm like, okay, I executed, and here we are 18 months later.
How much staff do you have?
We have a staff of 4 right now.
Okay.
We have 3 wonderful females that have helped us succeed in the business. And we have an assistant brewer right now. And then there's 3 owners, my wife, and then our brewer and partner, David Barone, as well. So he's been fantastic. And he's really a lot of the reason, too, why we're so successful in the beer.
It takes a team, doesn't it?
It does.
You were, I found out about you and also heard that you do a lot of giving back. That yes, you've served, and thank you so much for serving our country, and now such an awesome entrepreneur and an industry we all love. But you also do a lot to give back. You're doing a lot of charity events and a lot of nonprofit and giving back now to the veteran community.
As a microbrewery craft beer, you do get hit up with a lot of different wonderful organizations that really want support from you. Unfortunately, we're such a small brewery that we can't give to everybody like we would. So being a veteran, I focused on the veteran events. There's two areas that I focus on. One is supporting the city and what it means to be part of that community,
Right.
because it's those people in Corona that have helped us be successful. And the second part is the veterans, because without the training and the friendships and the mentoring I've had, I wouldn't be where I am today. So we do a lot with veterans. In the first year in the 18 months we've been open, our signature event is called Amber Waves of Grain.
And that's coming up in November,
it's
right?
November 4th, yes. It will be the Saturday before Veterans Day every year.
I love that. Amber Waves of Grain.
Yes.
That's so it's coming up November 4th. You did it last year as well.
Correct.
And what did you accomplish with that one?
We, with the assistance of 29 breweries, we raised $18,000 our first year out. The committee is made up of all volunteers, Blue Star Mothers, Christmas Dinner for Homeless
Yes.
Vets, VFWs. So there's no salaries, there's zero overhead. So 100% of the net proceeds was able to be giving back to the veterans. It's the All American Writers is a nonprofit group that we do use to funnel all the funds through, and then nonprofit veteran organizations that participated in the event can request some of the proceeds, and then if they justify it, we actually give them the money. So this year we've got 40 microbreweries lined up. We have over 30 nonprofit veteran organizations showing up. We have numerous historical reenactment groups that are coming. We start off the event with a parade, and we have a World War II museum that's going to be set up for one day.
This is huge. This is like
Very
a don't
big.
miss event. If you're anywhere near in Southern California, we got to come and check this out.
Yes.
Your Oktoberfest is coming up at the end of October as well.
It is.
Bill, thank you so much for your service and for being an entrepreneur and just being such an example in the community. That's really
you.
great.
Thank you.
Got to check out Steinkirchner Brewing. Fantastic company. We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't ready. I know, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't, you hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
Welcome back to Operation American Dream. What happens when you take a dynamo entrepreneur and a dynamo Navy veteran and they get married and become business owners together? I'm so excited to make this next introduction. Jay Henry, Angie Henry, welcome to Operation American Dream.
Thanks for having us.
Really excited to interview. Jay, you had 20 years in the Navy?
20, yes.
20. Tell me about that a little bit.
All right, well, it started in my career in 1990, at the end of 1990, and I went to Orlando boot camp. It was it was the only co-ed boot camp that was in the States, so that was an interesting endeavor. So from there, I parlayed down to San Diego for the first time. And I got to my first ship, USS Cleveland, and then it started a career of just deployment after deployment. So I did 13 of them, and most to the Persian Gulf. And I've seen a lot of action. So it was an interesting 20-year ride.
My goodness gracious.
Um,
Angie here is self-made, and it even was in the book Self-Made with Nellie Galan, that she featured her as a self-made. She is you're a phenomenal entrepreneur, that you have grown and built, mother of 4 kids, and now you own your own brokerage. 2 of you got married about 4 years ago, and now together have an incredible passion for VA homeownership. You guys are really doing an incredible job in North County, but Angie, a little bit of your background.
Well, I began in real estate in 2006. It was a lifelong passion of mine. My life changed when my family first became homeowners. I, came from a really small, crammed house, and when they became homeowners, it was just a life-changing life-changing experience that changed me forever. So with that passion, I've been able to just deliver the home ownership dream to so many people, and just every transaction, every home that we close is just very dear to my heart. So
You grew. You were out there as a real estate agent, still handling the kids, learning the industry.
Correct.
And I watched you as you said, that's it, I'm becoming a broker. Several years back, you put your mind to it and you did it.
Yes, correct.
And you started the brokerage, and then you guys have been running the brokerage. And then recently, you had an exciting new grand opening.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah.
With Jay's help, he's just such the strategic planner. The systems, operations, just his background in the Navy, everything is like, okay, we got to do this, and me, I'm all over the place, and just okay, I get an idea, I give it to him, and he just runs with it. So it's great. It was a wonderful grand opening, and lots of people there, and we're excited to grow our business and just continue to deliver and be part of the community and help veterans across the country, moving to San Diego and Southern California.
You guys are in the new building. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
You're growing your team. You've already been an incredible voice for the Hispanic community. You were president of the North San Diego County chapter of NAHREP. You founded that chapter and got it up and going to the success that it has today. And all of your years in your deployments and your experience in the military, that you could have chosen to be negative.
Yeah.
And you have put it into positive. And the two of you together, the impact that I've seen you make on lives has been really awesome. How is it working together as you've grown New Palace Realty and as you're helping veterans get into homes? What is that like working together with that?
It's a happy medium. I mean, we both have opposite, I guess, ends of the spectrum in regards to personalities at times, but we do jive. I mean, when we get together, we really are just passionate about what we believe in, and we attack it I mean, 100%. So, going back to my Navy career, I was a cryptologist, and then, like you said, about my strategic planning, and a lot of the missions that I went on to, it really took time and a long amount of time to kind of plan these things out so that we can accurately be effective in the mission. So I kind of, use that when I would work with Angie, and we kind of just make all these things happen. And it's in the motto, making home dreams happen. And that's what we're about. We want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to own that American dream. It's the title of the show.
It is.
Right?
It's
exactly
the
what
American
it is.
dream.
So we use both of our personalities and all the attributes that we have to ensure that we achieve that goal every day that we can. So it's just been an amazing ride so far, and we'll continue that ride.
Yeah, and what's so exciting is that he keeps me grounded. He keeps me, just aware of everything that we are so happy and so appreciative and so grateful for. He was in the military for 20 years. Things could be so different for him, and he just reminds me of that every day when I get, just flustered and just panic and, anxiety starts kicking in. He's like, okay, he just, puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm just like, you're right, it's gonna be okay. And just, that look on his face and just like, and it just reminds me, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Don't sweat the small stuff. The world, the sky's not falling. It's okay, So, that's just the happy personality that he has, and just brings to the table, just reminds me of why we do this and why we're doing this, and why we need to continue to be successful, and why New Palace Realty is making home dreams happen. And
You guys are so great with first-time buyers. You're so great with the VA buyer. I mean, clearly, a VA buyer, I know, because I've seen them work with you. And then it's like, okay, he gets it too. There's just that beautiful union there with you guys that is transcending into the passion for VA home ownership and first-time buyers. And one of my favorite stories I love to share is at your grand opening, because I had the privilege of being there, was that you actually had a buyer receive his keys. They were recorded that day, and you had the keys, and they got to come, and we all got to see your passion for getting people into home ownership, not just the new beautiful building, not just the big team that you guys are growing, but really your passion and care for the homeowner and walking them through every step of it. You guys are known as experts, and I would encourage, what's the website?
The website is newpalacerealty.com.
Okay.
And our phone number is 760-420-6191. We serve all of Southern California. We have an office in Murrieta now, San Marcos, and we also have an office in La Jolla that we work out of. So we have almost 15 agents. And growing. And growing. We're looking for new agents to come join the team, people that are passionate and willing to help others make their home dream happen.
I love it. Jay, thank you so much for your service and the time that you served. And thank you now that the two of you are serving everybody in the community now with a passion for home ownership. Thanks for being on today.
Thank
you so much.
I had so much fun on this show today. I love the guests that we get to have in here, and especially meeting entrepreneurs who have taken their time serving and now have a passion giving back. I'm excited to go check out the brewery, and I'm also maybe excited to ride a horse. I think I'm gonna check out the ranch. Don't forget to follow us on social media to see all the great guests that we've had in the past and that what's coming up in the near future. Like us, share us, tag us, and don't forget to watch the next episode of Operation American Dream.